Okay, course number 3, night number 2. We're going to close it down tonight with Sekhet Aaru, the national course for Egypt by Warhawk. So, I was going to say points off it didn't automatically come up where I can find it. So, for everybody just tuning in, those that haven't followed, this is part of the Design Challenge series. This is the second leg of that design contest called National Treasure, where the designers were allowed to pick from a list of countries, first come, first served basis, and they were responsible for designing the national course for said country. This one is going to be Egypt. I think the pyramid in the thumbnail over there is a dead giveaway. But Sekhet Aaru by Warhawk. And other than that, I always have to give this little PSA before we start that 99% of everything I'm going to say on this is going to be nothing more than my opinion. When there are things that are considered to be technical flaws that are going to cost a designer points in the contest, then I will point it out as a technical flaw. Other than that, I'm only giving my opinion as a fellow designer. Things that I might have done or things that might change the look of it, or, you know, it doesn't mean what the designer did was wrong or bad or otherwise. It's only my opinion. Likewise, this is my first time playing any of these courses, so you're getting my raw first time impressions of it. Those impressions sometimes change when I actually go back and score it, but I sometimes, or not sometimes, but I feel like playing it fresh and giving the designer's notes off of what I see immediately is probably a little more constructive than having me play it 5 or 6 times and having it all rehearsed and come in and be like, la 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 la. So I just like the first impressions, because I'm telling them what they're going to, or what a first time player is going to see, whether it be me or somebody else. So that's the whole idea behind it. Beyond that, you guys are welcome to comment over here. If you don't agree with me, that's absolutely fine. It's just my opinion. Your opinion is your opinion. But, you know, disagree here. Have conversation amongst yourselves. But please, let's not carry this over into the course threads or the judging threads when they come out. It's just not a good place for it to happen. And it will almost always lead to me deleting those comments and probably banning you from that thread. Because we just don't want that discourse and disharmony within those particular threads. We try to keep everything pretty even keel and let the judges get their points across and let the designers have their spotlight in their own course thread. So without further ado, let's give this one a look and see what we got here. Warhawk in the contest lore is most notable for creating the course in which you would most likely be eaten by a lion or a predator. Going back into the last summer showdown that we had. Okay, I'm missing some comments, so... Yeah, that guy was... I mean, by all means, I welcome anybody to the streams and all that, but it was getting a little weird. Hey, I kind of did something like this before. So this is hole number, what the fuck? Hole number 1. Okay, sorry. Didn't mean to throw an F-bomb out there, but that kind of took me for a little ride. And to wrap my head around this, that's a really big green. So we're at 406. Oh, I got Mayday's Ghost Ball. Imagine that. I think there has been one that I've played thus far that I have not had a Mayday Ghost Ball. So, Mayday, Jeremy, you're killing me, man. You're killing me. Huh. Okay. I'm pretty sure that you guys do not want me to get into retaining wall, so I won't. What the hell? So we've got a texture on it, but you have to pan out to see it. So, okay. I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to cover up these gimpy edges you get on retaining wall when you do that, but there's a different way to do that. If you're ever interested in learning how to do that, let me know. I'll do another stream because apparently the other one is like no longer in existence. I can show you guys once and for all how to do retaining wall. The way I do it anyway. It's not the only way to do it, but I'll show you the way I do it. It tends to come out looking pretty clean. Well, I might be able to shut it off, but I don't care to shut it off. I mean, I just do it where I don't need it. So same thing on this Warhawk. You've got this. I like your bunkering right here. I like how you've done this. But you can take a little bit more advantage of the space you have between your bunker and your green right here. Go ahead and raise this area up a little bit. Create a little bit of mounding, man. Give it like a natural. Give it some depth. That's the best way to say it. Give it some depth. You can do the same thing over on the other side. You got these lovely contours going on right here. Take advantage of them. Use some hilling in right there. It creates a little bit on your green as far as sloping, moving the ball different directions. It helps the look of your bunkers. You step back and look at this. Now think about this area being mounded up and this area being mounded up, and think about what it makes that green look like from back here. It just gives it like a lot more character than it just being a flat area across. Now you want your areas next to your retaining wall flat, no doubt about it, you know. But as you get away from your retaining wall, then you can go ahead and start mounting that up. It won't affect this stuff down here at all, and all that kind of fun stuff. So other than that, not a bad looking hole right here. A lot of damn palm trees, I'll say that. And actually, a lot of the palm trees I'm seeing aren't even on this hole, so that's pretty narrow back there. It's just the depth of field. The way this game renders things sometimes is just hilarious. Roller Coaster Tycoon did it better back in 1999 than what they're doing in 2018. But okay. I see, said the blind man. You're a liar, said the deaf man. We are not going to go for that green, by the way. Yeah, kind of a cool opening hole. I'm going to assume he went desert or step theme in this. Playing out on the edge of the plot right there. I probably would not have made, and I know I'm going to guess that you're going for the Nile look. You're trying to make that river, but I would give a little bit of thought to not making my section right here up against the playing area quite so wide, and that way you can avoid just having this one strip right up against the plot edge. So if you bring this out, you don't have to have a very straight line. I mean, you don't see a lot of banks just very straight like that. So you could have brought it out and worked your terrain in and out a little bit and give it more of a natural looking river edge, and it would have avoided your eyeballs going directly to the plot line as well. So just a future note on how to manipulate the edges of a plot. Well, this is just the wrong club. Yeah, being that close to the edge of the plot line, you have to be careful. Or I say the plot line, the plot border. Just be careful how you do stuff. And you could have taken some of the attention off of it just with not having a very straight edge that ran uniform all the way down the edge of that line. Work your bank in and out, pull in parts of this, make it narrow, make it wide, and so forth. And that way it's just not a bam, right in your face kind of thing. Most people won't even notice it if you do it that way. These are 175s. We got a little bit of movement in it. We're going to kill that putt. Hopefully we can knock it right over the top of it. Boy, been putting on these slower greens. Well, Erickson, Stones, Patrick's weren't slow, so can't say that either. Missed opportunity with no baby Moses. A little bit of work went into building the pyramids of Giza back here. So, yeah, some kudos for that. Okay, so this is just going to be a grift thing. This isn't anything he's done wrong, but this would just be something that I would personally recommend. When you're using your foliage coming in this close to it, especially over here on the left-hand side, I don't know that I would use trees inside your walkway here and your fairway. I'd probably get rid of all that and just have that roughed in, and let all of your vegetation be to the left-hand side of your cart path right here. Just a more clean, natural, organic look to it. Well, not organic necessarily because it is manicured, so kind of conflicting statements right there. But it's going to give it a more polished feel to it, not having those trees in there. You really don't need them unless you're just trying to make sure you absolutely ensure that I hit one of them along the way. But you're not gaining that much from it. You're not helping your hole with it being there. It's better off not to be around. I'd almost take the same approach over here on the right-hand side. You've got so many of these palm trees in here. You're bringing too many of them into the sight line. So let your grass line be your line. So all of your foliage and vegetation is going to be on your grass line. So it's going to make it look like they mowed out and cleared out up to that line. But the rest of this, heavy rough. And then you get that nice look of that dark green running right up into that line. And then you go into your dried out areas and all that. And it looks a lot more polished than the trees and just this heavy, bam, in your face palm tree thing we got going right here. So that would just be something I'd probably do a little bit different. And some people are going to laugh at this. I'm only going to bring this up because it caught my eyeball. I'm not usually a big person on going really crazy on cart paths as far as coloring and everything else. But this is a course that I absolutely I would have gone. I actually would have given consideration to the red brick path right there. And I'm sure there's going to come a point on a hole that will illustrate why. It's all about creating contrast and everything else. That's too close to the color of the sand. You don't get a breakup between your rough that you're going into, then you're going into that. It just matches the colors too much, so it makes it almost a monotone effect going into it. So that's supposed to be a dirt road, FYI. Okay. No. It might be a dirt road. For the looks, I would have considered going a different way with it, only to create a little bit of contrast in my color palette. Nothing wrong with what he's done. I mean, he's not done anything bad or inhumane or anything else like that. I'm just speaking off the cuff of something that might break those textures up a little bit. So, and maybe not even the red, maybe black, or just something that's a different color than what the actual sand is, because it doesn't stand out enough, whether at a distance or up against it. So that's all I was saying. So he's going a little retaining wall crazy here on the beginning. Probably would have approached this a little bit different way. If you're wanting to use retaining wall, you need more of it. It doesn't fit that bunker necessarily, in my opinion, but that's just me. Oh, got the slow down swing, and I actually did hit that one slow. Damn it. Damn it. Get in that cup. Damn it. Oh, and I didn't make this PSA beforehand. When I'm doing these critiques, I don't care what I score on these courses, guys. If I come in at even par, I consider that a success. So this is more about looking around the course and everything else. I'll judge the overall playability at a later time when I actually get on a score sheet, because I do no scoring based off of these. It can work. I just think the retaining wall needed to be bigger for the bunker he had right there. It was kind of weird to have this little knob of a retaining wall in this big bunker. So build that retaining wall out and then make the bunker fit the contours of said retaining wall, and I think it's more successful. Just my opinion. Whew, these trees. Big honking greens, brother. Big honking greens. So we got only a 1 mile an hour wind. I don't know that I really want to aim across that. I don't know that I'll get it there, but I'm gonna. Maybe. Let's see, what's our elevation? I mean, we're going downhill, so we should clear that, shouldn't we? Let's see if we can scoot it past the rough right there. Oh, we can scoot it right in that bunker or just to the left of it. So, holy crap. Well, there we go. Yay for Griff. I would have cleared. Well, in all fairness, guys, I hit a bad shot. I had a fast downswing on that. That's the only reason why I landed in the sand. I would have cleared the sand easy had I not had a fast downswing. I'd have been right into it, and I would have been on this green in two. So that was a me thing. That's not on the course, not on the designer. That was on me. Yeah. So I like the concept of this hole right here. I like the layout where it fits and everything else. Something I probably would have done was lowered this green, recessed it just a little bit, and then raised these bunkers up, especially on the back edges, to make it look like it sits. So you could have framed this just a little bit better. Your front bunker's fine. That gives a nice look going into the front of your green complex, but your two bunkers in the back are too low. I would have, number one, moved them a little bit closer to my green area to make them playable on both accounts, but I would have raised that back edge up and almost given this like a bowl right to left coming in. So you want that right side to be a lot higher than your actual green elevation right there. Been a really cool look, especially with the way your cart path's going up and everything else. So a little bit of a missed opportunity to really make this one sparkle. Not a bad hole by any stretch of the imagination. So what he's got is good, but could have really sparkled right there, especially with your river behind it and everything else. So just my take on it there, gents. Nothing more. These damn swings now. All of a sudden my tempo was just gone. Through two courses, man, tempo's been okay. I've had a couple here and there, but now then it's all over the damn place. Not drinking wine. It had nothing to do with it, so I don't want to hear that crap coming out. There's our first really good look at the pyramids up close right there. Yeah. See, this is where you could have used your path to create a little bit of color differential. It's just so close to the natural textures of the theme that it could have benefited from something. And you didn't have to go red, but you could have used one of the other colors to kind of offset it. Yeah, the pyramids look sharp. So good work on those, man. I guess we can definitely say we're playing in Egypt, right? So here we go. Bazonga! I knew that was going to screw me, but it just had to be done. Just had to be done. Oh, shiced. I turned what should have been an easy hole into a hard one, but let's see. I hit that just a little bit too hard. Take it easy, Reeb. Thanks for checking in, brother. Probably could have backed off some of the trees. We went a little bit tree crazy right there. I would have actually used your trees here and there to like give that feel, but then back off of it and use more of your tall grasses and some other things to kind of mix in. Use some of the shrubs, make them bigger, and sink them down to give that really dense look to it if you're going for that. But so many trees are actually almost a little bit off-putting. Thanks for checking in, Philly. I don't know what there is to dig on my streams, man. I'm just just telling everybody what they did wrong. Not literally. So I just enjoy golf design and all that. So some pretty good bunkers going on here. I think we talked a lot about his bunkers in the last contest we had with him in it. We talked a lot about it. It looks like he took some of that to heart. So we got some good things going on here. Something I would have done where you've got like this front bunker complex right here, how you've got it so recessed. Don't be afraid to pop that up, man. Elevate that some. Give it a little bit of depth to your course. Same thing on this one right here. Don't be afraid to elevate this higher than your fairway level right there. Creates a really cool look to where when you hit down in here, then you're looking past that. You want the right hand edge elevated some to give some of that mounding and everything else, and then you're looking into your green complex. This makes for a really nice look. Super bunker back here. I actually really like this. I like what you did with the contouring on it. So nice work in there. I like the way you gave that some depth. Take it easy, Jason Worth. What do you mean by I must have gotten an A in geology? I did actually, but my actual degree's in biology, and I have minors in chemistry and physics, so I'm kind of a science geek. Scheist? Oh, Scheist in geology. That's German. That's German. Well, I'm using the German version of the word. Okay, you guys win. German's actually a language I don't speak, so I've just always heard it as Scheist. So, the main thing I know about German is Achtung, because it was on all the damn signs when I was there. But I don't speak German. Now, you guys want to fucking debate me on Russian or Persian Farsi, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian? Let's go. Right now. If you can outdo me in those, let's go. But I don't speak German, so fuck me. I went to Darmstadt, I went to Augsburg, but I was on military bases when I was there, and I was there doing work in Russian and Cyrillic languages. It had nothing to do with German. Oh, that was bad. That was a fast downswing. Good long par three right here. Probably would raise this bunker up just a little bit. Falls a little bit flat from the tee box. I'll probably raise both of them on the side a little bit actually, and then give myself because they actually fit what you're doing right here. You're trying to build a shelf. So if you're raising this area anyway, you'd be better off just raising that whole area behind it. Fits right in with the bunkers. Just gives your hole some depth, especially since you have nothing behind it. So take it easy, Kessler. Now come back down. Come on. Nice big shot of the pyramid right there. Nah, should have gone a little bit more. Knew it was out there, but I felt like I was starting to send it out just a little bit more. I needed to. So. A pretty good looking hole right here. Even repeating some of those shapes over and over, it kind of works like leading up into it, so it's pretty cool. Somebody actually did that course for TGC1, Dan. It was actually called Valley of the Kings. There was a guy that did that one. He did the Predator. He did the Highlander. He did a lot of the fictional um, Tiger Woods courses. Or I should say that was the he did that when in conjunction with some of the EA Sports courses on that. I just remember he did Valley of the Kings, and he had Predator and Highlander, and had several of those on there. Thanks for the follows, guys. Much appreciated. Sorry, a couple of messages come across there I was answering, so it's a short hole. It's going to play a lot longer than what it actually is. So yeah, not a bad little look off the tee box right there. Once again, could have raised some of your right-hand bunkers up just a little bit to give it some depth on that right-hand side, but just an opinion. Damn. I actually hit that one slow. That's all on me. I'm relaxing. I'm changing my tempo up myself on that, so I'm going to have to get back into it and pay attention to my round here. But this is about to get ugly, because this shot here is no joke. Okay. Mercy, mercy. That's still going to come up short. Way outside the cone, but my God, I still didn't get it up there. I thought I was at least going to get it up there going 4 freaking clubs up. Damn. Fuck. Well, I just made a complete mess out of this one, didn't I? The only thing that would have made that better was missing that 5-footer right there. Hell, would I even score on that? Jeez. I was lucky to get out of there with a bogey. I can't believe that ball out of the bunker. That was 75%er. Should have easily flown up on that green. There's some big honking bunkers on this one in there. Some big old things. Woo. Okay. Goodness. Oh, man. Are you serious right now? Not gonna lie, man. I'm not crazy about something that kicks me right off to the right on a good shot. So I'm still sitting here trying to figure out how in the hell I ended up even in the first cut on that. I cleared what I was supposed to clear, and it's angled to where I didn't even get a bounce and a run up and then out. It just kicked right into it. You got to be careful about that. I mean, because at that distance, that elevation, even in real life, that's not something you're going to see standing on the tee box, something that subtle. And that's subtle. Be really careful about that. Damn. Yeah, I would have made that a little bit more of a flat area. I'm all for camber. I like using camber. I use it quite a bit myself, but you do have to be careful how you go about it. That's a little bit too much right there. I mean, this is just scramble and get par out of it now. Big old green. You guys and your big greens. I think you're overcompensating. Well, that's a fair challenge. I mean, this was. I'm gonna see this one on tour at some point as well. I mean, it's a lot of break right there at the beginning and not much at the end. That was an easy putt there. I don't have a problem with it. It's a challenging putt. I think you'd have to putt that 4 or 5 times to actually get the break on it. I don't know too many people. They're going to find it right off the thing. That was tough. Okay, we did the front nine. Nothing. It's just like making me want to like spit at him right now, as of yet. We got an uphill 350. I like the bunker layout. I like the float of this one. I don't mind pinching the driver on this one, considering it's such a short hole. For that, I'm going to lob down just to test it and see what it plays like with a 3-wood. Yeah, I don't know that why you'd need to go at it with driver. I mean, it's short enough. That's why I chose to play it the way I did. I want to see how it plays clubbing down. I mean, okay, great. I got an 81-yard shot now instead of a 51-yard shot. Woo! So I like that. At least you've got the option to club down. I've seen a lot of these where it gets pinched, and it gets pinched all the way back here to where you're hitting a long iron or a muted 5-wood off of it, and then you're just, defeating the purpose. Yeah, it was a sensible play until I got to here. Right in between clubs. Okay, let's do what everybody hates to do. And I'm on an upslope, so tell you what, we ain't going to take too much off of that one. Oh, okay. I thought that was going to slide just to the left of it. I was about to be like, damn, I actually semi-planned that out, man. So, I get that we went from like the Nile Delta area over there up against the riverbanks, so we were heavily planted with our trees, and now we're off that and everything else. But you got to be careful going to such extremes on a course. You give it a feel of two different things if you're not careful right there. So probably would have figured out some planting to kind of bring into that. Nice little dig site you got going over there. It's a nice little touch. There we go. Some extreme camber right there. I mean, Warhawk's solid. He really is. his last course that he did, the last contest course that he did, wasn't a bad course at all. It just had a couple of hiccups here and there, and it was just from being newer in the designer. I mean, he's somebody that I fully expect that as he keeps going with it, if he actually starts getting into it and publishing, he's going to be very well known and respected for what he does. He's got very good hole concepts. He's got an instinct for this, so that's kind of cool. Yep, pretty cool. So we got that dugout site. We got the site over here that has a look of a. Thought it was a. Well, it's got to be a dig site. It has concession tents and everything else. So I'm going to assume it's like a dig site where they're going into like the pyramids. So pretty cool. Kind of fell in love with the same length on some of your holes here. I'll give you that. Feels like I've had this shot a few times already. There we go. That's what I needed. I like the view you get off that green back there looking down into those sites and stuff as well. It's pretty cool. Damn, I thought I was going to get pushed in the rough on that one again. Take it easy, Justin. About 117 on a 115 with a 2-mile-an-hour wind. Just a little bit. Cool hole. You missed a little bit of an opportunity to make it shine there leading into your green complex. You muted your green complex. So, and what I mean by that is that, so you got your front bunker here that you couldn't see. You got the right idea on your bunkers back here, but raise those back lips, man. Like the actual inside of the bunker, just raise it up some and kind of give this a hauled in. I mean, those really aren't going to be playable. Somebody's got to hit a really bad shot to hit into those bunkers right there. So if you're going to use them to frame your hole, use them to frame your hole. Don't bury them down where you can't see them and flatten everything out off that. So I'd raise those up and don't be afraid to mound up and ridge in the backside of your bunkers and everything else. It helps give your bunkers depth. I mean, I understand going flat and everything else, but a really cool contrast in course design is having a flattish plot to where your holes all in all are just kind of running uphill a little bit and all that, but they're generally flat, especially your green areas. But then you use these mounds and stuff to kind of build up the outer perimeter of the looks. It starts giving the whole character. It gives it a little bit of depth, and real course designers do it all the frickin' time. The old school designers do it. The new school designers do it. It's just a common thing. There's a lot of golf courses that just have mounds in and around the greens. So, and fairways and other places. It just creates depth for your eyeballs. Same thing in video game golf. It will actually create some depth to what you got going on there. Oh, nice. Found a way to incorporate the dig site into the hole here. God, I hope that's an unplayable area down there because somebody missed that to the left. That's a hell of a shot coming back up. Okay, good call. I don't use OB a lot on my courses, but then again, I don't usually have really huge drop offs like that. But that would be one I would recommend an OB for. Absolutely. I don't want to loft that too much. Uh, shouldn't have lofted it at all. I was right on it if I just played that straight up. Damn it. Okay, gotcha. Knucklehead. I like this bunker right here. I like the big waist bunker. I like the way you've kind of built that into the side right there. That's cool. I'd lower the left-hand side of that. I'd flatten that out some, but nothing wrong with what you've done there. I've seen plenty of bunkers like that in real life, but I think that's a nice fit to the hole right there. And see, these are areas where I would have found some ways. So you got like these nice little dimples and crevices you've built in here. By building that, I would think about trying to put some bushes and some scrub, kind of down into that, just to give it a not so drab look to the outside edges. Just give it a little something. You don't have to overwork it. It doesn't have to be crazy or anything else like that, but just something to kind of break it up a little bit. And it would actually help accent your sculpting right there. It would show it off more because you're losing a little bit of it right now from a distance because of just the colors and the way desert, the theme actually renders the colors and everything else. So you build in just like a little bit of scrubland vegetation along with it. It can be something as simple as a couple of scrub bushes and tall grass. It just really helps build the depth into that. And they're natural areas to where if anything was going to grow, I realize this is supposed to be the Sahara, but you are close enough to the Nile. Apparently, with those trees, you're still going to get some of the water table coming out this way. That these little collection areas is where what little bit of rainfall you do get is where it would collect. So if you're going to have any growth, it's going to be in these little areas right here. So think about ways to kind of help your sightline not make everything just be so monotone back there in the background. It'll help your looks out a little bit. Unless those are actually meant to be sand dunes. I didn't think about that, but even then, that's not really how sand dunes kind of form. So I'm going to assume it's going to be rock. So, not that I'm trying to read too much into that. Well, and that's the thing. Sometimes you have to take a little bit of artistic license there, Warhawk. You're not going to get penalized for it. Nobody's going to look at that and say, "Well, that doesn't look like the Sahara Desert." Blah blah blah. I mean, the truth of it is, you've already got vegetation. You have a lot of vegetation right over there. I'm looking at it right now, so you're not that far off of it. So if you're in the Nile Basin, you're going to have more lush stuff right off of that riverbank extending out. It's not like it ends, 150 yards from the riverbank. You're still going to have palms. You're going to have date trees. You're going to have some little pockets here and there. I mean, that's just part of being in the Nile Basin kind of thing. So if you're building next to the Nile, kind of keep it in mind. But nobody's going to come in and give you points for doing some things to kind of help it out. So that's one of those where you say, okay, I am by the letter of the law using artistic license right here, but it's going to make my course look better. kind of deal. I absolutely would have, kind of used that little trick in there. Stop. Not gonna lie, I don't know that the elevation really helps you a lot on this hole. It's almost more of a distraction than it is strategic or helping the looks. So this has the feel of like, well, okay, I've got a par three. Let me jack it up way up in the air so somebody has to do some math, to make birdie or par here. This almost would have worked as well, if not better, down here at this level. Playing it back at that same distance from here, I just think is a better golf shot than up here on the hill because you got so many unnatural elements working against you on this. Number one, just the mounting, the way it falls off. I mean, it's not natural from that aspect. The heavy rough growing down exactly straight down the side. The grass wouldn't grow like that. I mean, that would be probably a little more jagged than rounded. The really rounded look gives it more of a man-made feel. I mean, just saying. So for my taste, I probably would have came more at a flat level. I really don't think the elevation helps you any at all. This would have been a spectacular looking golf shot right there. Play this tee box out a little bit more to the right, let it be fronted by the water and everything else. Pretty cool looking. So instead, you're just wanting to make me take 21 yards off my tee shot. Right in between clubs because I don't carry a 4-iron. Oh, lordy. I can live with that. That's about as close as I'm going to get it. It didn't bend back on me. Damn it. That first little cut right there that it came off of. Still, not a bad golf hole. Like I said, I just don't know if the elevation helps you right there. I personally would have liked it as a longer shot, more down on the level. I think it would have made for a very dramatic hole. 361 uphill. I don't know if I can carry that to the. I might could have carried that, but it sure as hell didn't feel like it when I was there. So this is just as good a shot to me. 100 yards out, I'll take it. I'll take it. Hey, pretty girl. Good night. I'll be in there shortly. I'm gonna get to this stream and I'll be coming to bed myself. Man, that just did not. Golly, that didn't break at all. Oh well, that's what it is. We're playing back down into the valley, and then we're going back through the trees. We've had how many holes of like zero vegetation? We're going right back down into the trees. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. This one's not bad. Just be very careful with your camber. When you have a 480-yard hole, you're shrinking the landing area. You're pinching it a little bit. You just want to make sure that you're giving the player a fair shake on this. So, as the elevation like bites off a lot of the hole distance, but other than that, not bad at all. I'll take that one. So I'll take that one. So you got 569, 628, 604, 601. I probably would have varied my distances of my par fives up a little bit. Your 569 is good. That's reachable if it's played the right way and everything else. I don't mind having a long one at 628. But your 604 and 601, you begin to feel like your par fives are all playing the same. That 569 completely gets lost. Like I didn't even remember it because of the 628, 604, and the 601. And I'm not saying you have to make them reachable or anything else, but change your distances up a little bit. Don't get caught up in the I'm going to protect par or protect birdie, kind of deal. So I'm going to make it 600 yards plus to ensure it's a 300-yard shot, um, or a three-shot, par five. Just kind of change it up. You always want to have at least one that gives a good fair risk reward. If you're going to go four par fives, you're going to a true par 72. Give them one that's a good risk reward. You got a chance at eagle on this. I'll usually do one that way. I'll go one that's long, that's meant to be a three-shot hole. And then my other ones will be completely dependent on the wind or other factors, just trying to mix it up. That way people don't feel like they're playing the same thing over and over again. So, and I realize that you're playing a lot with elevation. So down 50 feet, you're going to bring it, more in. But it's still, you want to, you don't want people to feel like they're playing the same shot over and over. And just kind of the same thing on your bunkers. There's a few of them you could have raised and mounted a little bit different just to give it a little bit more contour and camber to your fairway in certain spots right there. But it's what you have in bad. But like this one up here, like directly in front of my ball, like right here, I would have seriously thought about raising the backside of this bunker right here and this one over here on this side. You may have to raise your green a little bit behind it, probably not even much, but you don't necessarily want to hide the bunkers behind it, but you could have showcased that area just a little bit more, giving it a little bit more of a chute or a valley going into it. So oh Lord. Now, slow backswing is going to kill me on that one. May have gotten up there, but yeah, slow backswing doomed me. I didn't think I had a slow one on that one. I'll admit it if I do, but didn't think I had it on that one. Okay, that was Sekhet, Aaru by Warhawk. The impression of the course, it's actually a really solid course. Really solid course. There's a few things, and we talked about some of the bunkering here and there, just ways, not that what he had was bad, that wasn't even the point. This is a dramatic difference from what the first course he did for us in a contest was. So can definitely see an improvement on that. A lot of good work on the on some of the aesthetics with the pyramids, the dig sites, and everything else. That was a really cool way to incorporate Egypt into the course. I probably would have limited some of my tree work over here, just meaning that you got so many trees, it really fills up the screen. So use fewer trees and then use some of the bushes and everything, make them big, and then use the advanced edit tool to bury them, and that gives you that filled in space. It makes it look like it's more dense than what it really is, and you're not having to rely on trees to create, you know, that kind of look off of it. Some of the greens probably a little bit too big. I would think about the size of your green in relation to the shot going into it, especially on shorter par fours. This is not a hard and fast rule. It's only a guideline that I try to keep in mind. But real life greens, on average, are going to be about 30 yards deep and 15 to 20 yards wide. So if you keep those ratios in mind when you're building out, then you can do it. Now, obviously, you're going to have some that are going to be longer and skinnier, some that are going to be fatter but shorter. So it's not a have to, but you're not going to find many greens consistently on course that are just really, really freaking big like that. There are some, but most of the course isn't done like that. They're usually in set dimensions and such. It's really a shot-by-shot basis. Obviously, if you have a longer shot coming in, whether it be a par 4 or 5, a lot of times you're going to want to make those greens a little bit bigger to handle the shot, so you can contour out and everything else. But some of your shorter ones, you know, make them a little bit smaller. You don't need all that space on your greens. It creates other problems that you're going to find when people really start playing the course and they end up with some shit shots. But all in all, man, good solid course. It's another tour-worthy course. I have yet to play one in this contest that is not going to be on tour at some point or another. We'll see what the judges scored out as and see what some of their comments have to be on things and how they differ from mine and all that. But all in all, man, I mean, just the evolution of an up-and-coming designer right there. A little bit better than the last one. I'm going to guess that the next one's going to be even a little bit better. And I'm excited to see what he does because Warhawk has an eyeball for this. He has good natural instincts on building holes out. So just a little bit of polish here and there, kind of getting in his groove in the planting. I think he struggles with planting more than he actually struggles with the hole design aspect of it. And I can relate to that because planting is not my strong suit either. But you know, I really like what he has going, and given some time and some experience in the designer, this cat here is going to be putting out some really good stuff, guys. So other than that, we're going to end night number 2. We got through 6 courses in 2 nights, so we're kind of on schedule. I know I said I was going to stream Saturday night or tomorrow night as well. Tomorrow's my wife's birthday. We actually go out on Saturday nights anyway. I didn't think about that before I said it, but that, along with it being her birthday, I will not stream tomorrow night. I'll stream some during the day tomorrow. Get some of the Europeans in here involved and kind of what's going on, all that jazz. But we'll get some courses knocked out tomorrow afternoon. I won't stream Saturday night. I won't stream Sunday at all, night or day. Monday night is TGCT After Dark, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Central, 6 Pacific if you live in the mountains. So I won't be doing courses that night, but we'll pick back up Tuesday night. And we'll nail the rest of them out, Tuesday through Friday. And then we'll be on to the results and everything after next weekend. So the judges are using this weekend through next week and next weekend to go ahead and wrap all the courses up, get their score sheets in, and kind of debate them and see where we go with things. But we'll start announcing that Monday. So a week from Monday is when we'll start getting the results in. But other than that, guys, appreciate you guys tuning in. If you haven't played these courses yet, by all means, go give them a play. Designers did a great job in this contest. It's in the Design Challenge Series subforum on tgctours.com, and go check them out. Give these guys some love. If you play their course, give them some comments. Let them know what you think, good or bad. They appreciate the feedback. Hopefully there's more good than bad. So other than that, guys, I'll see you tomorrow.